Or my teeth.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hello,
Hi.
happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Keela, I am super excited about today's guest. I'm elated that they carved out some time for us because when we get to the end of this show, people are going to have a brand new definition of a chocolate factory.
Definitely.
I want to introduce to our show a lady who really made a real nice impact on me. You know how like a little comet crashed into a planet and you makes a dent, and that's how impactful she was. Um this lady is, I walked into her store, and I'm gonna expound on this later, but I walked in the store and I didn't leave for about an hour and 15 minutes later. It was just
Literally.
it was just impact. I want everybody to welcome Miss Jo McGinn, owner of JoJo's Treats and Sweets.
Mhm.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, JoJo. How are you? JoJo, if you weren't aware, I talk in this voice at the beginning of the podcast, so just don't be surprised by it.
Right.
And she also has split personalities. Next to JoJo, we
You love
have
them all. You love them all.
the general manager of the store. Please welcome Mr. Jeremy Jenkins to the show.
Hello, Jeremy. Welcome, Jeremy. Yesterday, when I called the store, I was talking in this voice, and you didn't
I
even
caught on to
question
it. I
me.
thought I was talking to Posh Spice at first.
Hilarious.
So, but we have to do a little bit of a business first, a little formality. And before each show, I scratch a song in. And today we're going to scratch the Crusaders. And for
Before you
those,
do that, I want to say hello to Kelly McGinn Jenkins. Hello, Kelly.
and
That's
it-
the one I married.
oh, really? He said that's the one I married. Oh, hilarious. And we want to say hey to Mr. Antoine too. He said, I'll be
Yes.
there soon. Can't wait. That's the
Love
guy
to
we
meet-
were telling you about before we start the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Spicy man.
Yes.
yeah, the spicy man.
Spicy man.
Sorry, we warned you.
That MFer.
Right.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
So I'm going to scratch the
We were keeping it down when we were interviewed.
I know. So, Miss JoJo and Jeremy, we didn't tell you behind stage the one exact thing that we forgot. When Aaron scratched and he asked us, where are we going today?
yeah,
We all stay together all the way there.
all the way there.
Okay.
Okay. She said, okay. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. Where are we going today?
We're going all the way there.
Where are we going today? All the way there.
Oh,
Welcome back.
you know, I had a thought. We should have JoJo and Jeremy and Antoine on the show and call it Sugar and Spice.
There you go.
Man, it was a great idea.
Muted. Why are you muted?
We're muted.
No, she's muted.
Aaron,
Okay.
because my daughter called, I was trying not to, and then she
Oh.
don't normally call me during the podcast. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. It was just
That's
like,
okay.
what? Okay. So I had a little funny, but you were gone. So you
Okay, well, can you repeat it?
I said we ought to have JoJo and Antoine on the show and call it Sugar and Spice.
Oh, that would be hilarious, actually.
Isn't that a good idea? Yeah, pat yourself on the back.
Well,
for
you
that.
know,
Oh, boom, boom.
we do spice chocolate. And
You do spice chocolate?
Yes, with
Yes,
cayenne
remember I
pepper.
had it.
So maybe we need to get together with him and bring it on.
Oh, sweet.
I actually
That could
had
be a
her
fun
spice.
collab.
Sweet
chocolate.
and spice is good. We
Oh, yeah.
even take cayenne pepper and salt and roll it in our caramel. It's great.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, I gotta taste that.
it's good.
I
I
gotta
don't know why I
taste it.
didn't think of that sooner.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that sounds amazing because I love a little spicy chocolate,
Oh,
dark
yeah?
chocolate.
We even do that in our hot cocoa bombs.
Oh,
What is it?
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
see, wow, you are really going into deep waters already because I had never even thought of a cocoa bomb.
Oh, man, that sounds amazing.
Really? Yeah. Well,
yeah.
you're
Oh, they're good. It's that.
You know,
the
I consider
rich
myself
chocolate.
to be a chocolate connoisseur until I ran into Miss JoJo's shop and realized
Right.
that I hadn't even tipped the iceberg.
Well, I'm like a man with a deep fryer, but I use chocolate.
Right,
Oh, okay.
exactly.
Okay, so let me catch everybody up on how we got to meet Miss JoJo, right? So I'm at work and a coworker of mine says, "Hey man, you want some chocolate? Let's go get some chocolate." And we see this sweet little chocolate factory that doesn't belong to R. Kelly, but nice little chocolate factory. And we said, okay, let's just walk in. And we walk in and we meet Miss JoJo, and she is the sweetest lady in the world. And the cool thing was, I felt like I knew her, like we met before, like a kindred kind of thing. And
Yeah.
she just walked up to us and just story after story after story. And it wasn't like we were saying, oh my God, I want to leave. We were engrossed in her stories about how she got the shop, how she got into chocolate. And then I'm not a chocolate eater, but she said, here, take these turtles. I've eaten turtles before, but these were the best turtles I have ever tasted in my life. And they were free. I think that made them taste better. But it was the best thing ever. We're gonna get into that story a little bit, but see, Keela's back on the phone, and she's supposed to do this icebreaker.
Well, yeah. So I you know, you can't call a child can't call their mother when she don't typically call me, and then it makes me nervous because she hung up right away, and I'm like, you don't call me, so are you good? So now that all is well,
Okay.
let's do my icebreaker. So listen, guys, this is chocolate. Can you believe it? Oh my God,
No.
it's a chocolate stiletto, every girl's dream.
Oh.
Well, the ones that can walk in them. Because I only dream of walking in stilettos. So listen, I made a reel that said who has my other shoe, and I purposely put the Cinderella music with it because I wanted to give the illusion of I dropped my other slipper at midnight. And so 78% answered Aaron has the other slipper.
78%?
Yes.
Wow.
And the rest of them said Miss JoJo still have it in her shop. So the people who guessed that Miss JoJo still have the other slipper, you were right.
Wow. And I'm so amazed that that's chocolate.
I'm amazed that it's chocolate too. And if people could really feel this, like, this is amazing. First of all, let me tell you how I was driving home yesterday. Well, riding home yesterday, because
it was like we were in one of those armored trucks, and she didn't want it to touch anything. She was like guarded. She's like, "Where do I put this? We're going to the store. Where do I put this?"
I'm like, please don't break my heel off. But anyway, it wasn't Aaron with the other shoe. Miss JoJo has it in her shop, and you guys can all own a slipper if you go in and purchase one from Miss JoJo.
Yes.
She has different colors as well, and we'll show those later in the show.
Okay, so I didn't get that one. But anyway, look. Okay, so Miss JoJo and Mr. Jeremy, let's start at the beginning. Today you guys are when we walk into JoJo's Treats and Sweets, we see you. But it wasn't always like that. How did we get to where we are now? What was the beginning stages of Miss JoJo and chocolate?
Well, I always did stuff as a hobby, making candy and cakes and stuff. However, when I left the job that I was at in, gosh, I think it was like 2000, I started doing chocolate more out of the house because I wasn't working full time any longer.
Mhm.
And Jeremy actually would come over and help me with stuff, making stuff. And so that was uh, way before this even happened. And then he was working, so he wasn't helping me any longer. But what ended up happening was I used to go and do like pop-ups,
Mhm.
and I it was really funny how this just worked out. I had put in my mind that I was going to make caramel. And I really think that it was the Lord putting it in my mind because I had never
Mm.
made caramel before.
Mhm.
And the caramel is what really started the whole thing. I made many batches before uh, this one came out that we use now, and they always flopped. And I just
Mm.
felt that pull. You need to make it. You need to make it. And
Mhm.
so the batch that we use now, that recipe, I made it and I realized, oh my gosh, I didn't follow the recipe. I'm like, oh, and I can't believe I messed up again. And as I said that, I felt the Holy Spirit come in and touch me, and I heard, no, this is it.
Mhm.
Mm.
Wait. And so I waited it for it to cool, cut it, and everybody in the household that tried it said, wow, this is the best caramel I ever tasted.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to make the story, it's a long story and there's a lot of detail. I'm trying to sum it up so I don't take up too much time. But in what ended up happening is that was the start of this business. And I had a few encounters through the way of encouragement and actually prophetic words where I was going to go and what was going to happen.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I can't stress enough to be listening always because the Lord
Mhm.
talks to us and he guides and directs us, and just because things aren't going your way
Right.
doesn't mean it's not him.
Right.
Exactly.
We
Right.
have to
Exactly.
learn to trust his voice and to
Mhm.
be obedient and put him first. He
Yeah.
has to be first.
Yes.
And he does not always call qualified people. Because
Oh.
if you're qualified, guess who takes the glory? When you're unqualified and you don't have the credentials, you know it was him.
Yes.
And you cannot give that glory to yourself.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
he called us. We did not have a background in being a chocolatier and
Mhm.
not having
Wow.
retail business. I never
Mhm.
did retail in my entire life. I
Mhm.
had a whole different what I did was totally different.
Mhm.
And even when I doubted and said, why did you call somebody who's always on a diet into the chocolate business? I mean, how could that be? And so many people are against sugar. It's bad for you. You can't have it.
Right. Right.
Well, he told me, he said, it's his treats. You don't live off sugar, but it's
Mhm.
a
Mm.
treat. And he said that caramel, taste and see that I am good.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow. So you have an interesting story that I'd like for you to tell, that you told us when we were there. Well, let me speed up the story. After we
Okay,
left,
which one?
yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I had to bring Keela to the shop, and Keela walked into heaven. Oh, and I kept,
Yes.
oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, look at this. Wow, wow.
Wait, Aaron, before you get there. Now, first of all, you guys have to remember, Aaron came back and he called me and was like, "Oh, I went into this shop and I met the sweetest lady." And so I'm just like, "What? Who?" And so he's like, "Oh, you gotta meet her. She has this chocolate shop, and I got these caramels." And I'm like, "Okay," and she gave you candy too. And I'm like, I'm not liking it. But anyway,
She's
he
happy.
he talked about her so much that I'm like, I want to meet her because the story that he told me that you guys talked about, and I'm like, well, I want to go to the shop. Now, I admit that I did want to meet her, but I was really intrigued with it being chocolate there.
Mhm.
So so I'll let you go into the rest of that, Aaron.
Mhm. And so one of the stories, and when Keela got there, she was just like flabbergasted about the mixtures of things that you have, the
Mhm.
total and utter variety that blew her mind.
Mhm.
But one story stood out to me was how you got the location you're in.
Oh
And
yeah.
that story really stood out to me. Can you go through that?
Yeah. What happened was I was in a store selling stuff out, and from this was before the cottage law, and so I was in the store
What's the
selling.
cottage law?
Means that you could have a kitchen out of your house and
Hmm.
sell
Okay.
goods,
Hmm.
but that was before that, and I had well, I was invited. The chocolate was invited, I should say, into a store, and I was not licensed, and they never asked me. So, out of innocence and ignorance, out of bliss,
Yes.
I just went and I started selling our products there. Well, what
Okay.
happened was we were told that we can't do that, and from Wayne County, and that we needed to close that door. Well, that was before that happened after I had the encounter, that was a prophetic word about where I was going, where everything that God was going to do. And there was a reason for all of that. But what happened was somebody had heard that I was out of the store and I needed to find a storefront. So
Mhm.
I got a phone call and they said, "There's this place over here," and gave me the address to this place, so where we're at now.
Mhm.
And so we drove out here to look, and the Lord said, "I want you to lay hands on that door, my husband and I, and you
Mhm.
call it yours."
Mhm.
Mm.
Now, I would have never done something like that because to me it sounds a little different.
Mhm.
And I want to make sure that I'm in God's will in my life.
Mhm.
And so you really have to make sure that you're hearing God to tell you to do something like that.
Mhm.
Mm.
So I said, "Let's lay hands on it." My husband's right on it. He felt the same way. So we laid hands and we spoke over that door and we
Mm.
called it ours. And to make this long story short, it took 7 months, the seventh phone call to the landlord.
Mm. 7 months,
And
seventh phone call.
yes, and the funniest thing was when the landlord spoke to me, he asked me how much money I had. And I said, "I don't have any money." And he says, "Well, I don't talk to people that don't have money."
Mhm.
He says, "You know how much money you need to get into this door?" And he tells me this number. And I'm like, "Well," I says, "Well, you know, God told me that this is my store.
Mhm.
So I don't know what you believe, but God said, so this is my store."
Mhm.
And I kind of left it like that. He says, "Well, I'll tell you what, call me back. I'm going to think about this." Well, he wouldn't call me back. I called him 6 times.
Mhm.
My husband said, "Don't call him again." Now, you have to keep in mind, some of these women would understand this. I was told by the Lord that I had to start submitting to my husband because I can get a little overbearing and run him over.
Oh,
You didn't hear that? No. And so in that, I was trying to be obedient. And the Lord
okay.
spoke to me and said, this was the seventh call. He says, you need to call him. I said, oh, no, this can't be the Lord because I was told to be obedient. And Tim said, I'm not supposed to do that. Then I hear, call him. I'll take care of Tim.
Mm.
So I go, okay. I called him. The guy didn't answer, the landlord. And I thought, well, I'm hearing things and I'm not listening right. And I think I know God's voice and I'm not listening.
Mm.
So I took it as I made a mistake. I'm learning God's voice. I'm going to make
Right.
mistakes. He calls me right back because
Mm.
he filters his calls.
Mm.
And he says, I am so sorry. When can you sign the lease?
Wow.
Now, mind you, I said, well, I could sign it today, but I still don't have any money.
Mm.
He goes, well, we'll take care of that. I will. And he gave me a number. And he says, can you come up with this? And I says, well, let me talk to my husband. Now, mind you, we still don't have no money.
Mm-hmm.
So I call my husband and he goes, sign the lease. I said, okay. He says, we'll worry about that other stuff later. We won't worry about it, he said. We're going to pray about it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. I signed the lease and out of the blue, somebody says, I have money for you for your down payment.
Look at God.
Wow.
I'm like, nobody knows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So throughout this whole process with this store, the Lord had always told us we are not to tell anybody what is going on, and He's going to supply.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Every time I had a need,
Mm-hmm.
God has supplied the finances.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's not when I want it. It's
Yes.
at
Man, this is
11:59,
amazing.
Yes.
and sometimes it's been 12:30.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mhm.
wait a minute. God is never late.
Mm-hmm.
But in this world and in this economy, God,
Right.
it's not God's economy. I'm
Mhm.
tripping out because the business I used to work in was always timely and you're never late.
Right.
Well, I had a really hard time with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you like, wait a minute.
I'm not like that, and I want my ducks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Well, God came in and He blew them all over the room.
Is that? I love it. I love it.
In case you guys haven't recognized it yet, when I describe JoJo's Treats and Sweets, I always say it's a candy chocolate factory. It's a church disguised as a chocolate factory.
That's right, it is.
Because when I walked in there, I felt like JoJo was like, Lord, what am I supposed to say to this man? And
I know.
I felt like God was saying, just stay there until she says something that you know I'm telling you. And
Right.
lo and behold, she did. Now, you know why another reason I know this is anointed, and we're gonna get into the chocolate in a minute, let everybody see what you make. Another reason I know this place is anointed is because I don't know too many men who enjoy working with their mother-in-law.
Exactly. That when I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute, it's not her daughter here, it's her son-in-law.
Yeah.
And they not that's okay. Yeah, this definitely gotta have some God involved.
So, Jeremy, how did
Oh, for
that
sure.
start for you?
Going back to the foundation of the company, I was helping her in the kitchen when I had downtime and everything like that, helping her get started and learning something I've never done before. I mean, I have culinary experience, but not professionally or anything like that. I grew up in the kitchen with my grandma cooking and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I went out and did sales, and
Mm.
I helped the opening of the business and helped her for a couple of days get this place going and moving, and then I dipped out for a bit and kind of went down my own path. And then about 5 years ago, I was in a retail business and it was going under, and I decided I was going to jump ship before the ship went down, kind of thing. And she needed a lot of organization in here. She was getting it was getting to be too much to handle for just a couple people and such. So I had a lot of retail experience and getting things, how to keep things organized, how to move things, and how to keep things nice, fresh, and how to as pertaining to orders, making sure they're filled and that kind of stuff. So that's something that this business really needed at that time. Because she's more of the artistic person. I'm more of the keep everything organized, make sure everything's right. Make sure it's going to be on time and take the orders, make sure confirm everything that the customer ordered is what they get. We needed that, so I stepped in, and it was an opportunity to grow, and I've been uncomfortable ever since.
but uncomfortable is a good word.
I should take that.
Yeah. I'm gonna take that in a good way.
It's been a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun around here.
I know you do, because
you guys definitely do.
We have a good laugh with you guys every time we come there.
I love it.
So the one that you married said, the one that you bore says hi.
Elijah says hi.
So let's get into the chocolate, can we? Because let's show Crystal's comment first.
Okay, but I do want to go back and say something about those caramels. She was talking about the caramels, because I'm going to tell you, I am not a caramel person when you're eating it, because it sticks in your teeth, and sometimes it may pull your teeth out, or it may pull out. If you had a filling, it may pull out a filling.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, she cut a piece of this caramel, however people choose to say it.
Yeah.
And it melted like butter. Like, I'm not even exaggerating, and I'm not trying to hype her up or whatever. It literally melted like butter, and I had never had caramel like that in my life. And I told Aaron, I said, wow, that is amazing. Like, there was nothing in my teeth. It literally was smooth. And you have to taste it. If you have to taste it.
And I'm not even a sweet eater, and when I ate it, it was so incredibly good tasting. If this caramel was a person, it would be me. I was blown away that how good it was. So Crystal
go ahead.
Miss Joanne and Jeremy were so nice to me. They took their time talking to me about the chocolate products they produce. They also were comical, like they are now.
Definitely comical. Definitely comical.
I don't really have an off button. I'm sorry.
But I love it, because we were trying not to disturb you. He went for his lunch break or whatever, and he was just like, I'm good. I'm like, okay, they are very welcoming there.
That's how you know I'm from retail.
Right? Jump right back in.
He's very sweethearted. He just puts up this tough guy.
Definitely.
Oops, did I just broadcast that in the world? Sorry.
So let's show some stuff.
Sue Markle says, hi, Joe.
Aw, that's my sister.
Hey, Sue. Okay, so what do you want me to show, Aaron?
Oh, let's start from the beginning.
Okay. From the beginning. We're going to start at the top. Here we go.
What's that?
Those are cake pops for Valentine's. They're roses.
They are
so
hard to tell
when they're laying down like that, but
so when I bite into that, what am I going to bite into?
Cake.
Either vanilla or chocolate cake.
Really?
That's what a cake pop is. Yeah.
Wow. Wait, can you put that back up?
Yes.
So I know I'm going to eat the bulb, but can I mean, is it, the stem is not edible.
Yeah, don't eat the stick.
Okay.
That's a sucker.
What about the green paper? Am I eating that? No, I'm
no.
No, that's
I mean, you can.
If you need fiber.
Not very nutritious.
Now, I'm gonna. They are JoJo pictures, but I'm gonna tell you guys, I had a chance to taste her chocolate bars with the fruit in it, and she put real fruit in here, so it's not like it's
real
that
everything.
fake. Yeah, that fake fruit. So I bought a blueberry chocolate bar. let me tell you, for one, it barely made it home. Two, when I realized these are real blueberries, like I was just amazed. Like I don't know if you guys have ever expected to have a real blueberry chocolate something, and you bite into it and it's that gel stuff. And so I have an attitude, but these were real blueberries. So listen, look at those chocolate bars, guys.
Those are with ruby chocolate, which is from the Ivory Coast.
From the Ivory Coast.
From the
Yeah.
Ivory
it's an African
Coast.
bean.
Wow.
What? An African bean. So this is what I mean by what I thought I knew. I didn't know anything until I got into her store and realized that it's levels to this.
Well,
It
yeah,
is.
you know, can I say something about that? When
Mhm.
we first opened up, we used what everybody else does with chocolate.
Mhm.
Well, I wanting to be doing everything right, I sent my labels to the state of Michigan, and they said, "What are you doing? Nobody does this." And I'm like, "What?" I says, "Well, I want to have you tell me if they're right and approve them so I don't get in trouble down the road."
Right.
Well, she says, "Nobody does that, but I will tell you this. They're not right." And I go, "Oh, what's wrong?" She goes, "You're not selling chocolate." I go, "What do you mean I'm not selling chocolate?" I said, "It's labeled chocolate. Everybody else sells the same stuff." She says, "You don't have cocoa butter in there, and you don't have a chocolate liqueur. So if those aren't in there, you're not selling chocolate." I'm like, "What?" So all the chocolate, I started looking at all the labels. The outside said chocolate. The ingredients didn't. So
Wow.
I freaked and I said, "I can't even believe it." And I started going through all the American chocolate, and they are all the same. And if they
Wow.
did have those two ingredients, they're way down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, "That's it. I've been lied to. I can't deal with that." One day I stand before God and I have to answer for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say, "Liar." Well, we know you can't be a
Right.
liar.
Right.
And that's lying. So I went, I prayed about it, and I found a European chocolate company. And the funny thing to that story, and I won't say all of it, the guy said, "Well, who are you? You're just a mom and pop shop. We don't deal with mom and pops." And I said, "Well," and started explaining to him. And then he had a change of heart. And he said, "I got to meet you." So he came in, he flew in town.
Wow.
He came into the shop. Now this guy says, we're big company. We don't deal with you little guys."
Right.
And he sat down at the table, and here at that time, this store was totally different. And as I explained to him and I started letting him taste what I was doing, he goes, "Oh, you can't have it."
Exactly.
He says, "You can't have this stuff, this other stuff. I know exactly what to send you." He left.
Wow.
He sent me a bunch of chocolates, all imported from Europe.
Wow.
And that's what started it.
Oh wow.
Look at you, like, wait a minute, first of all, but somebody has a question for you.
Sure.
Miss Graham says, "How do you keep the blueberries fresh if they don't sell, or do you just make a few?"
Freeze dried.
No, what? No, not those.
Oh, no.
Actually, they are a special. They're not really freeze dried, but they're dried blueberries. And when you put them in with the chocolate, they will moisten up. And that's what you had. And we do make small batches of certain things because they don't move as fast as others. So some things we go through quite fast, and that wouldn't be a problem. But as long we've been here 13 years now, so we kind of learned
Yeah.
how things react.
Right. Yeah, because they definitely taste moist.
And that's like the thing with our bonbons and our caramel. When you come into the shop, we have a lot of stuff that's in the coolers, which most people won't do. They say it's a no-no. Well, we figured it out, and I would like to use less commercial ingredients as possible in our chocolate, so people aren't getting bad things. And it's kind of a thing of, we feel that this is treats. People don't have to buy a pound or 2 pounds of chocolate to get that taste. You can eat 1 or 2 things and you're fine.
No, that's the truth. Like her is so I don't know if this is the right word to use for chocolate, but so concentrated.
Yes.
Because you don't have all of the fillers in there,
right?
And you can certainly tell the difference. Like I said, I know I thought I was doing something with Lynch chocolate, but I'm gonna tell you, don't get me wrong, Lynch is still good. But when I had that chocolate, I thought I'm bougie. I have Lynch chocolate. No, but you can't afford this. You know what I mean? But
no,
when
we understand that, because we did the same thing when the distributor started sending me real chocolate. We were in shock.
Yeah,
and
I was
looking
shocked
at the ingredients and going, wow, there's hardly any ingredients in here.
And that's what I like.
They're doing a lot more for less. Yeah.
And the flavor, it's in it. You can't even, everybody in my family, and we have customers that do this, they say that I've wrecked them. That they can't eat the other stuff.
But no, it's the truth. Because and I don't want to name drop, but who wants to go back to, those other chocolates that are famous household names? I mean, it's hard to go back. It's almost like you drive a Cadillac and then you say, well, here, drive this, and you like, well, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, once you've driven in a Cadillac, you're like, there's something to say about the ride in a caddy.
Exactly. I'm not going back.
Right, exactly. And it's the same thing. You don't have to eat 2 pounds or a pound of chocolate to get that craving that you had.
Yeah,
you can eat a few bonbons or a turtle. Like our turtles are called tortoises.
Tortoises, yeah.
Oh,
and
my
that's
goodness.
What started this whole business was the caramel and those.
Guys, look at first of all, I'm gonna tell y'all, Candy Dids has nothing on those. Those were the best, because it's got that caramel that she make inside of them.
That's right.
And Miss JoJo, I ain't trying to help hype you up. I mean, the hype is within your store. It's within what you make. But you guys have to go there. I'm not just saying that.
Well,
you guys have to go there.
She needs
to about the tortoises. First of all, I made them for years. Now Jeremy's in charge of making those, and he's the only one that makes them unless something's and he's not there, and then I make them. But he has got it down to God's recipe, and he does what God says.
Wow.
And he makes those and puts those together.
Well,
so
look at God.
I can't take credit for those any longer. They're his baby.
Yeah.
And I love how the pecans stick out of there. Are they pecans or walnuts? Pecans,
no,
right?
They're pecans.
Yeah.
How they stick out there like a little turtle.
A little turtle. Yes.
Yeah.
I know. We had to eliminate the tail because it made it go too big on the scale.
Okay.
What would a tail do? But it
So before we go to the next picture, I'd like to say that I've ridden in a caddy, and there's nothing wrong with my Ford Flex. Okay, so look, let's go to so Miss Graham has another question.
Let me get to it.
She says, Jeremy, how long does it take to make a dozen of those?
It's a 3-step process. Takes me about, I'd say, in total, half hour to 40 minutes per dozen, a batch of a dozen.
Oh wow! Okay,
very
and
intricate.
How many would you make a day? I mean, is it per order?
I can pump out about 144 a day if I'm uninterrupted.
Wow.
Okay.
The key is uninterrupted.
Yeah.
Yes, the key is uninterrupted.
I don't know who would interrupt them.
Oh,
love
man.
it. I love it. You
What
guys
is
are ready for the next picture?
Squirrels loose.
Exactly. So, of course, here we go.
Who
in
is
front.
that good-looking guy?
That
Oh
is
my God.
Aaron in
Man.
front of Miss
And he's
JoJo's shop.
and notice he's chocolate. Look how chocolate he is. A chocolate man right there.
Okay, so tell
Yeah,
us
perfect.
about. These are God. Oh goodness. Listen, so she make these chocolate covered. These are dark chocolate, by the way, sea salt chips. Now, anybody ever had a certain brand? Most brands will dip the whole entire chip. So I was totally like, I have to have those because it was the half of a chip, which I get to taste the chip and the chocolate. I love chocolate covered chips. So, okay, anyway, y'all have to
She
just
is
try them for yourself.
hyperventilating right now.
I can't contain myself because for one, you go in the shop, you feel like this. It's almost like the world out there doesn't exist. You
Right.
know what I mean? When you go in
That's
there,
pretty astute. Yeah, yeah.
so I'm just lost because it's so much in there to choose from. And
Mhm.
then I felt like we were on a field trip that day because guys, we got to go behind the counter.
Yes,
So we got
we
to see.
the makings of the
Yes, and I'm
chocolate
like, we
factory.
went on a field trip today. Right? So here's the next picture.
Ooh, ooh.
Now, what is that, Miss JoJo?
That's a 72% Swiss chocolate. And
Mm.
some of those have coconut, almonds, and raspberry.
Mm.
Mm.
They
So
look
if you,
so amazing.
those don't even have soy lecithin in them. They
Really?
have 4 ingredients.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
So that chocolate comes from where?
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Okay.
Yeah, that's where it's processed. There's a little Swiss shop,
Mhm.
factory, I should say, and we get 2 different chocolates from them: the 72% cacao and the
Mm.
88% cacao, which we just introduced because we're on keto and we're going crazy with no chocolate. So, so we got keto approved chocolate without artificial flavors.
I
Most
love it.
most keto products have a bunch of junk in them that's not good for you.
Yep.
This
Mhm.
is
Yep.
good for you, and I just as soon have this. So
Mhm. So
we're going to
Amen.
open a line with that.
can you give us a little lesson on what is cacao?
It's what Americans call cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They don't
Okay.
pronounce it proper.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they think that they are when they be like, we're gonna
Yes,
have
yeah,
cocoa, but it is
yes,
not
it's
pronounced correctly.
correct.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
had to learn that because I was corrected by the people that know so much, and when I was learning, and they'd go, "Oh, God, one of
Mhm.
those."
Yeah, like one of those people who instead of saying faux fur, they say, "Oh, I'm wearing a fox fur," and I'm like, "Wait, that's not right."
It's pronounced poche.
Exactly.
Uh,
Tell us about this one.
ooh.
Oh, yeah. Those. Every Valentine's Day, we dip fresh strawberries in house day of. We take all kinds of orders for these.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a martini glass that we fill up with
I love that.
some chocolate covered strawberries, and we can dazzle it up. I think those are the bonbons
Yeah.
that we
Yes,
throw in
Mhm.
there too.
yes,
Yeah, we can do
it's
little
so
cute
pretty.
little variety glasses. We do all kinds of different fun little things. But yeah, that's mostly a Valentine's Day special that we do. We'll have fresh strawberries in house for dipping.
We
Mm.
Okay.
only do it. We don't dip them ahead of time because we don't want
No, day of.
anybody getting a gift. Have you ever bought strawberries
Yes.
dipped and they're all sticky and there's
Yeah.
wet all over them and they're disgusting?
Yes.
Yeah.
We won't do
Not a good
that
look.
because it's our name on there.
Yeah.
And we
Mhm.
want
Yeah.
people to have the best. Now, if you are feeling like we don't have enough time and I want to get strawberries
Mhm.
with chocolate on them beforehand, I would suggest to order our strawberry bonbon. They
Mm.
Oh.
are, I think they're
Oh, I
better than the
had one of those.
strawberries and they're not messy.
It's a more potent flavor
Mm.
for sure.
They were so
Yeah, I
delicious.
remember those. I had the one in the upper left, that orange and yellow one. I had
I
that.
had a
Uh,
strawberry one.
Man.
Did you have a strawberry with milk chocolate?
I did.
Yes.
Oh,
It was so amazing, guys.
Yeah, we just introduced those, and they've been a hit.
really?
Yeah,
Sell out
so
fast.
that was a part of our field trip. She went straight into the freezer and got me one. I felt
Yeah.
really special that day. Okay, so what are these?
Those are hot cocoa bombs.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Those are
for
so
Valentine's,
pretty.
we'll do them in a heart shape.
Those are so
Ooh.
Or you
pretty.
can sometimes get those if you order them, peanut butter cups like
Mhm.
that. They're huge.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask what. So the size. I was trying to gather the size by the plate. Is it will it cover my whole palm? Is it that
Yes.
big?
Yeah, about. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd
Wow,
probably
that is so
fit like that.
interesting.
Yeah. Wow.
I
And
like
what's in
that.
it? If that was chocolate, and what's inside?
If you're getting a hot cocoa bomb, we mix our own hot cocoa mix.
Mhm.
Mm.
And so you would get that with marshmallows and maybe surprise sprinkles.
Wow.
Wow.
And or you can get them ordered. We'll do a half one, and we'll fill that with peanut butter, so you can make them. You can order those in peanut butter cup
Oh.
form as well.
Wow,
Wow.
you guys are fancy.
Yeah, I've never heard of this kind of
So
stuff.
this is what made me do 95 on the freeway. This next picture.
Oh.
And Jeremy told me that they were about to close. So I'm like, Aaron, hit the pedal so we can get there. Get this shoe before we leave. And listen, I can't believe that it's chocolate. Like
I
that's
couldn't
amazing.
either.
So in the picture, when I seen it in the video, which by the way, if you follow them on Instagram, they have the best
That's
advertising.
commercials. Yes.
Oh my
Yes,
God. So
that's
why am I
commercials.
always sending their commercials to people in the inbox? Like you send memes to people.
Yeah.
So we send reels. I'm like, oh, and everybody like, oh my God, so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your commercials are always getting shared to my friends.
Yeah.
But I thought that
If
they
you
were
remember
smaller.
that.
I thought that they were smaller. So when I got to the store, I'm like, wait a minute, I almost can fit that shoe.
Yeah, I think it's probably a size 5.5, 6.
It looks, that's exactly what it looks like,
Wow.
about a size 5. Oh,
Wow. Yeah, I
yes.
was amazed to see it was life size as well. But one
Okay.
more thing about
I
your
don't know if he remembered to give you the mallet that goes with them.
He
did.
did.
He
Oh,
did.
yeah.
did.
Yep, he did give us the mallet.
Yes.
Mallet.
To break the chocolate. I got it.
But the thing is, you almost don't even want to break it. You just
I
want to keep it.
know. I don't want to break it.
We have so many people that say that they a man will come in and he'll want to put an engagement ring in there, and so
Aw.
and with other chocolates. And
Wait,
so,
why you close your ears?
No reason.
This needs to be heard. What were you saying? No, I'm just I'm just kidding.
But okay, so show the shoe one more time. Are those
Okay.
the
Oh,
4? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
look at that.
now that
That-
one is actually the 60% cacao Belgian chocolate, and I paint it gold.
Wow.
Man, that is so beautiful.
Look at that.
That is so beautiful.
Do you would it have been possible, and it's probably a little late, but we still got a little time, to make chocolate footballs?
I have
We
a
do
football.
life-size chocolate football.
Really?
Are you
It's
serious?
life size.
What?
It's life size. I don't have one made. I probably should have. Or he should have.
Are you
Oh, it's
Wow.
almost 2 pounds of chocolate. Yeah,
2 pounds make
almost 2 pounds.
I would
Matter
have.
of fact, we've had stories from somebody that had one, and they go to cigar shops,
Mhm,
you know, like where they sit and they smoke in there. And
mhm.
it was during football season, and all the guys were passing it like as a football, and they were playing a game with it. And they said that it didn't break. They were tossing it to each other and had a blast. And finally, they broke it and started eating it.
Oh, that is so cool.
But yeah, no, we're a full
So cool.
chocolatier. Just because we don't
Yeah.
always make it doesn't mean we can or won't.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I would have
So-
loved to see the football.
Before we get back to my mom's question, I'm going to show a few more pictures so we can make sure we get through these. And these were the cake pops, right?
Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the top view. That's a better view, actually.
Okay. And then you have, oh, that's us, guys.
That's us.
Oh, look at us. Aren't we wonderful?
Especially
That's when we got to go on our field trip. So this is me and Aaron in front of Mrs. JoJo's because it's a landmark.
Yeah, and I look really handsome. Okay.
You do.
So little
You
debonnaire.
both do. You both look
Quite
good.
dapper.
And there's Mrs. JoJo and behind her shop. I love it.
There I am.
And I know Aaron is gonna do, because we're kind of coming down to the end. You guys decide to have a giveaway, but I'm gonna also try to get to this one question. What is your favorite chocolate candy?
Are you asking me or him?
I think he's
Both
asked
of us?
this question. Yeah, this question was to you two.
I'll let you go first on that.
Mhm.
It's so hard.
You know
it's
what?
so
Yeah.
It's
hard.
hard.
around
I
here.
don't have one. I like everything. I
Yeah.
tasted everything. There might be 2 or 3 things I'm but because I wouldn't have done that, but
Mhm.
people buy them. So
Mm-hmm.
if I have to narrow it down, it would be a tortoise.
Yeah,
Really?
Because
those
Oh.
things are so good.
I know I can't eat one. I
Mhm.
eat 2. So I
That's the
stay
thing.
out of them because I know if I eat one, I'm gonna eat. It's like, but you can't eat one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
What
I
is-
would
No,
I would
no.
have to agree with the milk chocolate tortoise would probably be my favorite. Number 2
Mhm.
is definitely like the milk
Strawberry.
chocolate strawberry bonbons. Yeah,
Mm.
those are
bonbons are so good.
out of this world.
Yeah, they are really good. So it's hard because I haven't met one that I didn't like.
Yes.
Except I will be honest, I don't like the white chocolate strawberry bonbon, but we sell more of those than anything. So
Yeah.
it's like, don't ask me because everybody has different taste.
They
And
do.
what
They do.
I don't like, everybody likes. So I mean,
Yeah.
They were my favorite until we put them in milk chocolate. Then those became my favorite.
Okay. Okay.
But let me do
Nice.
this. So all this sweetness that we're putting on the screen, people need to know how they can get to it.
Yes.
So where are you located?
We're in Old Village, Plymouth. Yeah, that right there, 985 North Mill Street.
they can also order online.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or you can just call me if I don't know if you happen to have our number or anything like that up.
And we
but
can
yeah,
make sure we have it.
You can always call or text me.
What's the number?
734 788 54. I'm 788 5453.
Okay.
We'll put
You
it up
guys
before
can
the end
reach
of the
out.
show.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Always
you got
happy to
to.
hear from people.
We also we deliver.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we've had people that order, they pay their invoice, we email it to, actually not we, he emails it to you. You like how I say we and he's really the one doing it?
Uh,
I love
it's
it.
bad when we get along and I do this.
okay,
I
do we have
love
that
it.
one picture?
Of what do you need? The bonbons?
Yeah, probably for
Instead of
that.
9.
Okay, I sure do.
Now, before we do,
That's it.
that's the bonbons. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, Miss JoJo has graciously decided that she's going to give that away to one blessed viewer, and that person has to answer a question that I have gathered throughout this conversation. And
Ooh.
that question is, and see, you have to. So, okay, last time we had a whole bunch of people hitting us with comments like afterwards and all of that. So, the first time we see the first correct answer,
It's
that
the
person
winner.
gets it. Okay. So the question is, am I handsome? No. The question is, how long has JoJo been making chocolate?
Ooh, can I answer?
No.
Oh.
How long has JoJo been? Has she been in?
Put your answers in the box if you
Put your
want to
answer
win.
in if you want to win a set of 9 bonbons, courtesy of JoJo Treats and Sweets.
They look like really expensive marbles.
They do. They're like really
Right.
cool bowling balls.
That's what
Expensive.
everybody says.
Yeah.
Expensive marbles. Uh-oh.
Even that,
Somebody
I
has
would-
an answer.
Oh,
Okay.
Gay
You're
Moore
gonna
says
need
they're
help
gonna
with
need
your
help with the Valentine
Valentine
order.
order. Oh, We claim that for them. I hope you guys get help. I won't be there.
You'll be there.
Somebody said 15 years.
That's Miss Graham. Sorry, that's not correct. But and Antoine, the spicy guy, says 16 years. That's not correct, sir. So we're still waiting on the answer, and we got a few more minutes. And if I have to give the answer, I'm going to get them for me.
That
So,
sounds fair.
You have
So,
to give them
let me
someone.
ask you a future question. Real quick, do you guys think about
Yes, again, guys.
franchising? Is this going to be will there be satellite locations of JoJo's treats and sweets?
I don't know about that. I do know that we will have a factory,
Mhm.
and that's what
Oh.
was prophetic words spoken over me.
Okay.
So we know that, but I don't know if franchising is going to be involved in that, or if it's going to be different retail shops. I'm not really sure at this point.
Okay.
I have thought about a little bit on it. Just personally, it's something that may happen.
Mhm.
I don't know what the future is going to hold,
Right.
but it is something that I have personally thought about. You know,
Mhm.
just trying to. It would have to be very strict with who we would offer our name to. They would definitely have to have something like the same principles, because we don't want our name, our reputation,
Got you.
getting tarnished in any way, shape, or
Right.
form.
Yeah.
I keep it that way
Yeah.
throughout the entire name of the brand.
Mhm.
I love that you guys are cognizant of that, because when you are representing the Father,
Yeah.
everything should be done with dignity, integrity.
Absolutely.
And I
Quality.
love that you and quality, and I love that you stick to that principle, because
Mhm.
it's so easy. I mean, and I'm not making chocolates, but you can just see how the food industry has changed over years and
Yeah.
have watered down everything.
Oh,
Mhm.
greed has killed our
So,
food industry. Absolutely.
You know,
mhm.
and that's the hard thing. It's not easy to stand when you see other places selling inferior things and making higher profits,
Yes,
and you
yes.
might be in struggling,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you look at it and you go, well, I could sell more if I did something different here.
Right.
Right.
It's like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You,
Well, we have a winner. Miss Doris Graham hit the number right on the head.
13 years.
Come get your chocolate, Doris.
You have to go get it, Mom. If I go get it, I'm gonna eat them. So you better go get them.
So the challenge is, I know Miss Graham is going to go and get hers, but the challenge
she
for everyone
definitely will.
else is to visit the store on let's put the address back up again.
985 North Mill Street.
North Mill Street. Come and see what we have been talking about, and don't be surprised if the anointing hits you when you hit the door, like it hit me. So,
Now,
And tell us your tagline one more time.
taste and see that I am good.
yes,
I love it. I
Well,
love it.
JoJo and Jeremy, we have had a ball with you guys. Thank you so much for
Thank
carving
you.
out, because you guys are so busy. Thank you for carving out time for us.
Absolutely.
It's been
Yeah.
fun. We'd like to visit with you again.
Yes, we would love
We'll
it.
go out for dinner or something.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
We're not just saying it. You know how people say
No,
it, and they
no.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Trust.
Do it.
Let's do it.
We're talking about food. I'm there.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would really like you both to meet my husband and
I would
his
love to.
wife, and we'll have a good time.
She said his wife.
Yeah, my daughter.
Love it. I
Oh,
love
you said
it.
his- I thought you said meet
And
my
his
husband
wife.
and his wife.
You're like, he's like, what? See that?
Yes. Well, you guys, you
Somebody's
have
trying to hint to you, Aaron.
right. Is that you? I heard that hint. But you guys have an amazing week. Thank you again, as Aaron have already stated. Take the challenge. Go and visit the store. Mom, go and pick up your chocolates, and
Go Lions.
everybody,
Go
Lions.
Lions.
Go Lions. Bye, guys.
God bless. Thank you.